Well, you send emojis, that just ain't enough. If you don't know, then you don't care about love. Why you keep leading me on? You keep on saying but the words are all wrong, but you don't care, and you don't know about love. What is love? What is love? Heaven above. Oh, what is love? What is love? Heaven above. And you don't know, and you don't care about love. So you build your walls out of stone when nothing can harm you. That's what you've been told. And you don't share the real you. No one knows. So you lift your friends up above, and you give them credit that they're not worthy of just to get love. It's a sad love, not a real love. So what is love? What is love? Heaven above. Oh, what is love? What is love? Heaven above. But you don't know, and you don't care Well, you don't know, and you don't care about love. So what is love? What is love? Heaven above. Oh, what is love? What is love? Heaven above. When your blue comes and your red heart, you're just an online love. Yeah, just an online love.
Well, how about that? A friend of the show, Lynn Brown, provided us that little ditty today. He was on here yesterday talking with Uncle Joe. about the good old days. So I think it's Thursday. Pretty sure it's Thursday, the 7th of May, and the year of the COVID. And maybe what is love? What is love? Heavens above. That might be a good topic. What is love? So how are we doing? I see Dennis and Jennifer out there typing in. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. Let me do a little housekeeping, and I'll drop the link. Hey, Aunt Khaki. Hey, Aunt Khaki. So, nice day up here in Crescent City. Actually, kind of warm. A little on the warm side up here today. A little on the warm side. So, how are we doing today? Who would like to come up and let me clean this up over here on my left. So we're all ready to go now. I got all the housekeeping done. A few people come in to stop the show. How about that? Wasn't that a pretty good song from Lynn Brown? Actually, I like some of those chord changes in there. They hit a sweet spot. Tot and Chico. There's Jennifer. I see your video today, Jennifer. So I think you're. Let me clean this up a bit. Can you hear me?
Oh, I finally got on. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear
perfect.
me? Yeah, no, it's fine.
I can hear you perfectly, Patrick.
Good. What's going on today, Jennifer?
Not much. Not too much going on in the news. Just kind of relaxing and getting ready for dinner. I just wanted to make sure I got my camera fixed. So is that Palm Springs behind you? You
got that. I figured you would get it.
Of course.
Do you know where that is in Palm Springs?
Oh, I think a lot of the family got that. Palm Springs, the palm trees kind of got that one.
Yeah. I imagine Joanna.
So what you do today, Patrick?
Not, just farted around. Delivered a package, worked in the backyard. That my days aren't that full. Has Joanna played on the course, I'm sure, behind me?
Which one is that? There's so many out here.
It definitely looks like a golf course.
No, it's a golf course, but there's probably 150 golf courses.
Oh, never mind then.
She's probably played on most of them, because when they
we're getting a little bit of buffering going on. Is she not golfing now, or do they golf?
It's really gotten hot here. It's going to be like 110 today. They've gone out a few times and hit balls. They've gone on the course that we live on, because that's an easy one. So they have been out. They go out either real early in the morning or late when it gets right before dark, when it cools down.
Do you ever walk the golf course with her?
I do, but a lot of times I'll ride the cart.
Okay,
they're allowed to have one cart, so we kind of share it all.
That would be kind of fun to watch.
Oh, you would love to see her hit. She's amazing.
No, she's also quite the chef.
Yes, she is. Her Grammy and her mother taught her.
No, she made a good impression on, usually, I think, me especially at Danielle's opening. She was just she was a little spark plug, and she had a lot of personality, and she's a cool kid.
She gets the job done. I was just going to say, I talked to Diane this afternoon, and she said she might come on the show, but she doesn't want to discuss what's going on medically with her yet until she really finds out everything. So if she does come on, nobody ask her questions about it.
Can I ask you, is she feeling okay?
Yeah, she seems to be all right. She's just waiting to get results back.
Oh, good. Well, good. Yeah, we'd love to see Diane. She'd be a newbie. Has she ever watched this show?
I think she said she's watched it once or twice. She said she was going to try and get on at 4:00. So we'll see.
I thought when somebody watched it once, they're hooked. I guess not. Darn it.
Oh, I am. I'm on it every day. You know that when I can.
You are absolutely you're You're a regular.
Yes, I am.
So, Damien, is he on
I
his
think
way back to Montana?
I'm not sure. Mom would know when he's coming back, but I believe Aunt Terry's driving back with them to go to Aunt Donna's.
Oh, okay.
That's my understanding. Mom, why don't you get up and explain that?
Well, I think she needs Damien's help from what she said earlier.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Sahara's, she watches once in a while. Maybe.
Yeah, she does. Oh, you got your, what do you call those again?
These are Otter Pops. I'm addicted.
Oh,
Well, it's part of the show now. I got to do them, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm blaming you guys. I'm blaming you, Jennifer, being a regular and eating Otter Pops.
Okay, that's not a problem.
So I think they went fishing up in Chico, and probably on the Sacramento River.
Well, Dennis, get up here and tell us what you've been doing with your brother Damien.
He said they all caught fish Tuesday.
I can see that.
So, what else is going on? Hey, Donnie Hershey.
Hi, Don.
Don Hershey Lopes.
Don, get up here and help Patrick and I.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say today, and I have to get off pretty soon to fix dinner.
No topics today. What's a good topic?
A good topic to talk about today?
Yeah.
There's not that much going on, really.
Okay. What about What is Love? That was a pretty good song, wasn't it?
I think love. Yeah, I like that song. I think love is what anybody thinks love is. I mean, there's so many different kinds of love.
It's
and you can't define love. Only you can define what you think is love.
Yeah.
Something that somebody thinks is love, you might think is hate or abuse.
I know I felt it before, and it's pretty special. It's like a drug.
So you have been in love, Patrick, huh?
Yeah. I fall in love easy.
Do tell.
No, I'm not telling nothing. Danny Wells wants to talk about murder hornets, and I like that. I like that one.
Oh, good.
What do you know about murder hornets, Jennifer?
Well, I think we should all inject Raid to make sure we don't get bit by them.
That's a bad idea.
You think?
I don't think they're in Europe. I think they're up in Washington. I don't think they
are. Are they really murder hornets? Can they really kill you?
Good question.
I've seen two different things on it.
I know they murder.
Danny Wells, do you know that? Get up here and tell us about murder hornets.
I know they behead bees by the hundreds. They're crazy. I think that I've seen documentaries about them before, and I think they came from Japan or Asia somewhere. Boy, Asia sure shits on us. Excuse me. We get a lot of stuff from Asia, don't we? Besides all the crap that we do.
Yeah, that's okay.
I know I've seen them in Japan, but not me personally, but shows about them being in Japan. But anyways, well, let's see. What is love? Yeah, I think love is kind of I don't know, it's a real interesting thing. You're right. It probably means something to other people. Have you been in love more than once?
Without question.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't think you can love just one person at one time. You can love many, many people at one time. And I'm talking about relationships because you love them all differently. I mean, John's my third husband, and in some way I loved them all, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't have married him.
Yeah.
They're just all different types of love.
Yep. But isn't it kind of fun when he first starts off?
It's a drug. You're right.
It is. I don't think there's a better drug.
There isn't.
No.
You end up losing weight. You're happy. You exercise. You look better.
Yes, you're happy. You have happy thoughts. I see Dan Wells, Dennis, and my mom. Hello, Janice.
You kind of dodged that bullet.
Oh yeah, because I can't.
You're dodging that bullet. I asked.
Love. I've been in love a bunch of times. I think some different than others, but it's always fun. That's for sure. It's always fun.
Do you think you'll ever get married, Patrick?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Uncle Joe. I don't know. It's not a priority for me. It'd be nice, I guess.
If it happens, it happens.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to it at all. But
Well, that's a good thing.
definitely not like yes. Not I'm not longing for it by any stretch.
Do you always go for the same type and the same look?
No, I go. it's what goes.
You go for what's easy.
Except for me, that's the one I go for. That's an open book. There's Kurt coming up. Thank you, Kurt. It's about time to save me.
No, I'm not saving you. I'm prosecuting.
Hey,
You
Kurt.
fall in love every time you go to the grocery store or the laundromat. I know you do.
Not up in Crescent City. Maybe Chico, but not Crescent City.
So these murder hornets, right?
But Kurt, is that love or lust?
Yeah, it's lust.
Oh yeah, that happened.
I don't think you can know love for about a year or two. I think you definitely, get infatuated, and you don't, the first 6 months, year, 2 years of a relationship, you don't really even you won't go poop when they're around, or you won't fart, or you won't, rip out a burp, or there's an infatuation period where you just don't act like yourself, and then sooner or later you just fall back into your own self and your own crude self, and if she loves you, she
But that
stays.
doesn't mean you don't love that person anymore.
What doesn't mean that you don't love that person?
Just because you fart around them or you.
They might decide they don't love you. That's there's not a lot you can do if the person decides they don't love you, right?
I worked with a guy once, and he was Indian, and he was from India, and he was in the caste system. He was a Brahmin, which is, I guess, that King shit's a turd island. Excuse me, but he was talking about arranged marriages, and that's what he was all ready for. And he's a college student. He's a good-looking guy, and I said, what if you're not in love with her? And he goes, love is one of those things that burns out. He goes, but a relationship. That was, when the way he explained it was like, oh, okay, I can understand. It's like you build it over time, but the love thing, he goes, that's usually like a firecracker. It's bam, but then it's gone. And
I don't agree with
I
that.
don't know. Did you agree with it, Jen? I don't.
No,
I don't.
I believe the longer you're with somebody, it just turns into a total different type of love.
Right.
More of a trust, more of giving, more of that person and they're false and you still love them anyway. I
Yes.
think when you first meet somebody, you almost are like in a play and you're trying to be something for that person, and that you're not really being totally honest until you really believe that they're going to trust you as a real person. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but the longer you're with somebody and they're false and love them anyway, I think that's true love. I mean, there's times John and I want to kill each other, but we still love each other.
do tell.
Well, it's just being in the house 24/7. Kurt, come on, Kurt, you know that one.
I didn't say it.
Play around. No, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, but and I agree with you, Jen. I really do. Anybody that's been married more than 15, 20 years kind of gets that. But Pat, what if you had an arranged marriage and there was no chemistry whatsoever? That would be miserable.
I think it would, but I imagine there would be mistresses or misters or whatever.
Yeah. I bet that's common.
Yeah. No,
I don't think there's too many arranged marriages in the United States. Maybe outside of the United States is pretty common, but maybe I don't know about the what are the Mormons. They don't have arranged marriages that I'm aware of because I don't know much about the Mormon faith.
I don't know.
There's a lot of different reasons. A lot of arranged marriages are political or financial. We're going to merge these two families together, and that's the way a lot of in the, a long time ago, a lot of tribal wars were settled, and that's how tribes got along, by kind of arranged marriage, from what I understand.
That's how Europe was ruled for a long time. Intermarriaging between different countries was a
sure
way for
and
stability.
between royalty, right? Royalty
Yeah.
was horrible.
It happened all the time. Yes.
Yeah, it was commonplace, right?
No, yeah, thank God that doesn't happen in the United States.
Yes.
As far as I know, it doesn't.
Let me drop that link. And what's on your mind today, Kurt? You got anything interesting?
I don't have a whole lot. I just I really popped in. I have a little something I heard about those murder hornets, and they call them murder hornets because just what Pat was talking about. They go in these honeybee hives, and they just start killing bees, and by the thousands, But the Asian honeybees can kill them, and what they do is they cover them. Right, the bees just cover them, and they vibrate, and they create so much heat that it kills the murder hornet. But American honeybees don't do that. So, and from what I've heard, the sting described as very painful, very, very, very painful. And probably if you got enough of them, just like bee stings, you could probably die from them. They're nasty looking little things. I tell you, I don't want to run into them. And they're in the ground, right, Pat? They're what's that called when animals live in the ground?
I don't know.
There's a name for that.
You're today's expert on the murder hornet, Kurt. You just go.
Just what
it's working.
Daddy Wells can probably come up here and school me a little bit too, but I don't think we have them in Southern California.
Well, I'm going to get off and come back up with Kurt.
What are you making tonight? We're having Linda's sister cook lasagna. Linda's sister Diane's a great cook. I'm looking forward to her lasagna tonight.
Did you go to work today?
I did.
Yeah,
I did. I actually worked out in the shop. My sister-in-law Karen, she wants me to make 2 screen doors for her, like wood paint grade screen doors, and she those wood screen doors that you buy are pretty cheesy, flimsy. So I bought 6/4 soft maple, which is 1.25" soft maple, and I'm making it out of 1.25" soft maple. With soft maple, it's still harder than hell, but it isn't as pretty, and it's a little softer than hard maple, but it's not as pretty. But she's going to be painting it, so I actually worked out in the shop about 6 hours today, and my feet are screaming.
So you're actually using the saws and the drills and the
I used the let me see what I used today. I used the table saw, the planer, radio alarm saw, biscuit cutter. That's about it of the power tools. That's about it. Yeah.
How far did you get?
I got one clamped together, and the other one's going to get clamped together tomorrow. So I did pretty good. But I still, thank God they're paint grade. I put a couple. Do you know what a biscuit cutter is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I put a couple slots in an area, biscuit slots in an area. I got a little backwards, but I can fill those with Bondo, and you paint them, you never see them. I like paint grade stuff. It's very forgiving. A little fill here, a little fill there.
Can you put the screen in yourself?
Well, it depends. There's, you can buy. When I made my screen door for my house, I bought perforated metal, and you go buy perforated metal that has 1/16 of an inch holes. But the problem with perforated metal is it doesn't offer a lot of visibility. So they have screens that go on screen doors that are made for visibility. People don't like looking at the screen door and not seeing what's behind there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that door up to where it's a window screen. I'm going to buy, I'm going to buy the channel for the screen, and I'm going to mount the channel, and it'll just be replaceable window screens. There'll be 2 in each one. So when you, they have dogs, and one of the reasons, well, the way I'm making the screen door is to prevent the dog from pawing the screen. They have Frank and Karen have a 4-month-old. Is it a Belgian Malinois? I think that's what it is. Have you ever seen one?
Yep, I don't know.
You've never seen a Malinois? You know what
I
a
don't
Malinois is?
I might have seen one, but I can't put the name.
Well, you would confuse it with a German Shepherd. It looks a lot like a German Shepherd, but generally they have black noses. Dennis knows what they are. Border Patrol use them a lot. Police use them a lot. But his dog, Max is 4 months old, and he looks just like a coyote right now. I told Frank, I said, don't let this dog get out of your yard. Somebody will shoot it thinking it's a coyote. It looks like a coyote because it's kind of small still. It hasn't filled in. It looks like a skinny little coyote. So back to the screen doors. I'm going to make those screens removable like they would be in your window. If they get damaged, they can go in and just pull the screen out. Don't have to take the whole door off and get it replaced.
That's a good idea. I don't think I've never saw that before, but kudos.
Yeah.
Bravo.
We'll see. I'm not much of a door maker, to be honest with you. But I kind of like those kind of projects. I like projects that are fairly simple. No matter how simple it is, there's always a way to screw it up, though. And I've done my fair share of screwing up projects. But the difference between somebody that knows what they're doing and not know what they're doing. That somebody that knows what they're doing, they can fix their screw ups, right? Right, Danny Dees?
Who's the lucky person who gets to paint it?
That would be Karen, and she's a good painter. She's a really good. That's one of her talents is painting, and I've done a lot of They moved into a house that had a little kitchen, and it wasn't set up right. It had a peninsula. She hated it, so we ended up. And she had a wall with modular type cabinets on them, and she hated them. So we built a pantry cabinet for her and an island cabinet. And I actually built. This is Karen. This is Linda's sister. I built her about 10 years ago. I built her a solid walnut dining table that was 8 feet long by 30 inches deep, and it was really pretty. It came out really nice, and she gave it to her daughter. They've done some moving around, Frank and Karen. They went to Florida and lived for a couple of years. So her daughter had it for a couple of years, and somebody else had it for a couple of years. So she wanted me to build this island, and she wanted to use that walnut top, but she needed it cut down 2 foot. So we ended up, cutting that down. It came out real nice. Everything came out. She's real happy with everything. But when I build her cabinets, it's what we call paint grade, just raw cabinets, and she paints them. I don't like painting cabinets. I'll stain and finish cabinets, but clear coat on them. But paint's just weird. Paint's just weird. There's just a lot can go wrong with paint, right, Uncle Joe? A lot can go wrong with paint.
I haven't seen.
That too, Pat. You're quite the painter too. I mean, if you try to put latex over oil base or something like that, or
Yeah, that would be Uncle Joe or Damien would be the experts in
yeah,
that.
Dame's a good Dame finished cabinets for a while. I think he did it for Danny for a while. So a painter, a house painter, isn't necessarily the guy you want painting your cabinets. You want the guy painting your cabinets to shoot them, for one thing. Have a spray booth. You know what I mean? And most house painters don't have spray booths and the right air guns or HVLP guns or whatever you're going to shoot it out of. But,
No. I painted like for Uncle Joe a lot, but I was never put on cabinet duty because that is.
It can get done if you're a good painter, and I've seen good painters before, and they can do a good job with a roller and a brush. But
no, because that's what people look at. There's a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah.
On your cabinets. Hey, I see Die's in here. Hey, Die, good to see you. I don't know if you've been to. Welcome to the show.
If she comes up, I'll go ahead and leave without saying goodbye. Nothing personal, Die. I just want to give you the time with Pat.
Well, no, hey, it's I can fit 6 up here. It's not about just 2 people. In fact, I want it to be 3 or 4, so I can go get an otter pop or something like that. I sneak out once in a while.
Yeah, take a pee or whatever.
Yeah, you might even hear that one time. I don't know. I got to be careful.
Have Dennis come up. I want to hear about his shad adventures. I heard Danielle got her first shad last Tuesday or Monday or whenever it was. That's pretty exciting to get your first shad. I don't think I went fishing. I think once or twice with Dennis, shad fishing. I don't think I've ever caught a shad, to be honest with you. I don't.
Okay. You know, what surprised me is Randy Leopard is kind of, he's a fisherman, and
Yeah.
he made a comment about he wants to move only where there's shad fish. Yes, if there were shad in the Smith River, and I said no, I don't think. I looked and there isn't. But aren't they kind of a trash fish? I mean, you don't really eat them.
I don't know.
I don't think you eat them.
I don't know. It's funny that a friend of mine and I had this conversation today about a lot of people. They go, "Oh, you fish?" And yeah, I fish. Well, I go trout fishing here and there, and I'm like, I know nothing about trout fishing. I wouldn't know what to do with a fly rod, just like Randy Leopard and Dennis could probably attest to this. Wouldn't know what to do in the middle of a hot yellowfin or bluefin bite in the back of a sport fisher. You know what I mean? That I can do. I fish on sport fishing boats. That's how I fish. I've trout fished and stuff like that and bass fish, but certainly not good at it. And I don't know how to fly fish. You ever fly fish, Pat?
I don't think I ever have, but when high school, it was kind of cool. Chico High School was awesome school to go to. Prop for them. But they taught fly fishing in PE, so we actually tied flies and went out in fly fish, or practice 10 to 2, 10 to 2, 10 to 2.
Yeah. It's funny about fly fishing. Me and my brother-in-law Frank Thompson went down to Lake Murray one time. We were going to take a fly fishing lesson. San Diego fly fishermen sets up there every Sunday, until it's shut down, and they'd give you lessons on fly fishing. Well, one of the styles that we fish here in Southern California, it's called surface iron fishing, right? So it you usually use a rod, a 9 or 10 foot fairly stiff rod with a casting reel, a bigger reel, and you tie on this jig about this big, and it's called a surface jig, right? It's a lightweight metal jig, and you cast it as far as you can out there. The idea is to get your jig as far as you can out, and then you wind it back and you want to get bit. Well, the motion for casting a surface jig and casting a fly rod are complete opposites. One has nothing to do with the other. And the problem with a fly reel, I kept trying to cast it like a surface rod, and Frank did better than I did, and he's never fished before hardly in his life, and he did better at that. It would take me a lot of practice to break my old habit and learn a new way. That would be tough for me to do. If I lived where you lived, you bet I'd be a fly fisherman. But there's literally no. People fly fish for saltwater fish too, but I'm just not that big. I'm not that enthusiast. That has.
I don't. You know what? I don't think there's many fly fishermen up here.
Really?
Yeah. In fact,
I don't know. I don't know how you fish the Smith River. I have no idea.
I mean, kind of despise them. I think they know they're tourists when they're fly fishermen.
Is that right?
Yeah. No, what they drift boat down, and I think they use row. Dennis would probably know better than I do. I think.
Yeah, I know he would. I wish he'd come up.
So they don't have any motorboats on the Smith River. You gotta it's a one direction river for the boats. You just float down.
Yeah.
It's actually, I've done it a couple times, and it's usually go about dawn. So you see the river kind of wake up, and it's actually it's worth just the nature trip.
Sure.
Yeah. And if you saw Bird in a Box, the movie Bird in the Box, that's the Smith River, and that's what I floated.
I've heard of that movie. I might have seen it. I can't recall. How old a movie is it? Pretty old.
No. Okay. Here we go. You got a question.
I can't read it. You're gonna have to read it, Pat.
Okay. It says, I have a question for Kurt. He said the other day, if someone were to give him a boat, he wouldn't take it. Why? Are they too much maintenance, or what's the biggest struggle being a boat owner? That is an excellent question.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you take a boat?
So there are times when you have a boat, it's awesome, right? It's really good. But I don't think those times outweigh the money. The the money, the maintenance, the you know, it all depends on how big of a boat you have. The smaller your boat, the easier it is to take care of. The last boat that I had, and after I sold it, I said I'd never do it again, was like a 26-foot ocean going boat, diesel engine, and you know, it had a cabin inside and a V berth and a little stove and a little bunk area, a little head area. Had a little fly bridge that you 5 steps up and you got up into and the thing weighed about 10,000 pounds, and I had to have a F350 4x4 to get it in and out of the water, because I didn't, you know, to keep a boat like that in the water, it's not only, you know, $600-700 a month in it, but it's maintenance all to it. It's like $50 a month just to keep the hull scraped, and you know, and you're constantly working. You got to be dedicated to be the type of boat owner that's going to own a boat to go out ocean fishing. But I do plan on getting another boat, you know, when I go to Havasu, the plan is now for us to move to Havasu in 3 or 4 years, and I will definitely have a bass type fishing boat to fish Havasu. There's some great fishing in Havasu. It's a world renowned bass fishing lake, and they have striped bass there, and they have catfish there, and they have, I think they might have crappie there. I'm not sure. But my retirement is going to be learning that river and that lake, and I look forward to it. I love the Colorado River. I have since I was 10 years old. My first canoe trip down it as a Boy Scout. So fishing, I mean, it's kind of silly. You say you wouldn't take a boat if somebody gave it to you, but if it was worth money, you would take it and resell it. But I don't want a boat to have to work on and maintain and, you know, do the whole boat owner thing. When you get done. Me and Dennis went out fishing one time, and we went down to the islands, and we just got our asses handed to them. And you know, we left at like 4 o'clock in the morning. We get back, it's like 9 o'clock at night. I go to get my truck's hooked up in my trailer, and my truck's got a flat tire. And I was like, shit. So I had to, you know, it took hours to get that fixed. And so I was telling about the time we went fishing, we came back to a flat tire on my truck. It's no fun. It's okay. So this is what happened. So my daughter Jamie ended up getting a job on the new Seaforth, which is a half-day boat, right? So I could get on for half price. So we start going fishing on the new Seaforth for half price, and I'm going, this is sweet, man. I don't have to clean my fish. I don't have to do nothing. I bring my rods and my reels on, and I fish. And if I get hungry, I go down to the galley and get a burger. If I get thirsty, I go get a beer. And it's a wonderful thing to do. And you get off the boat, and the only thing you have to wash off is your rod and reels. That's a wonderful thing.
Remember going fishing with Todd Ferrato?
Yeah, sure I do.
Yeah, we'd have to clean and wash and wax.
Oh,
and polish.
Yeah, we'd be there till after dark cleaning everything, making sure everything. Yeah, it depends. If you go with an anal person like Todd Ferrato, it was like every scale had to be off that boat. No scales.
I mean, very nice boat, but I remember a couple of times us getting off going, let's not do that again. Let's just pay to go out and walk off the boat.
Well, I think we ended up calling that boat the no-no boat. No, don't do that. No, we can't do that. You know, it's like,
right.
You know,
yeah.
Couldn't smoke a cigarette. No, can't do that. You know,
or drink a beer. I mean, you can't even, you know, don't spill your beer. You know. Yeah.
So yeah, I like the downside. You know, the downside of fishing boats like that is like there's always somebody next to you that hadn't taken a shower for a week, or talks to you and you about faint from his breath, or he's smoking cigarettes right on the back rail with you, and you know that's a bummer.
You want the bottom bunk because it doesn't move so much, but then everybody's stinky boots get put right next to your face when you're sleeping.
Yeah, they smell that all night, right?
It's horrible.
But generally, my rule now is if I don't need to be in a certain area on the boat to catch fish. You know, a lot of people love to fish the back of the boat when you're on an anchor, but you can catch fish on the bow of the boat too. And if I don't like who I'm fishing next to, I just move.
Yeah.
You know,
I mentioned that before. You find out real quick who you do not want to fish next to. And
yeah, those are you spot those on the first go round.
Right. So when they come in and plunk in right next to you, you just reel up and rebait and go and throw in somewhere else so you don't got to fish next to them, because it's always a disaster by them. You know, they're always going to tangle you or mess you up, or
yeah.
You know.
And there's all kinds of different when you're on a sport boat. It all depends on what you're fishing for. There's always different situations, whether you're drift fishing, anchor fishing, depending on what type of fishing you're doing and what you're fishing for. So,
Yeah, the
and a lot of
bow
people just get lost. I see people like they just stand there like we don't know what to do.
the bow always seemed like it was the light iron throwers, and when you went into their area, you'd get like the stink eye. Like, what are you doing up here? Trying to fish a bait.
Bait fisherman, get out of here.
Yeah,
it could be like that.
Quick too.
It could be that. It could be that.
Yeah,
because
you know, better places to go though, out of the crowds. Everybody throw in first. Seems like to me, get all the tango going.
Yep.
Get into the big, and now you go in and bypass all that first round cluster that happens.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's a definitely a good strategy.
There's strategy.
And it's my strategy, and I probably taught you that strategy. It's real easy to get anxious and go, come on, I got to get a bait in. Look, there's fish
when I get all
boiling.
tangled up, I just cut my stuff, go tie a new hook. I don't mess around, let them get all untangled. I'm out of there.
Yeah.
There's a lot to know. It's just experience. You'll never do it or never know it until you do it a bunch. You're never going to go on a boat and know what to do the first time. Just no way. It takes a lot of trips, and you taught me so much about ocean fishing. My God. I would try to follow you.
We learned together. Gosh, the first albacore trip I ever did with those San Bernardino idiots, no stoners or whatever they were. I don't know who they were, but I remember going on that first trip with you, and we couldn't have been much more than 17 or 18.
Yeah.
At the time, I think I still lived at home. And I remember catching one albacore, but that was the first time I really went. I mean, aside from my grandpa used to take me out a couple of times,
Do you remember how rough it was that day out there?
I do. I remember. Yeah. I'm trying to think. This was a different trip that me and you and Danny went on. Me and you and Dan Beats went on. And Danny wasn't known for getting sick, and either was I. But you were. Let's face it, you were known for getting sick.
Oh yeah.
But I remember you got sick, and then Danny got sick, and then I got sick. It was like boom, boom, boom. And that's miserable getting sick. Oh, they're horrible.
That's why I always loved the Sea of Cortez, because you could go out there and be like a lake. Remember in the morning sometimes it was like glass.
Yeah.
You were ocean fishing on Lake Oroville would get rougher than the Sea of Cortez sometimes.
Yeah.
Certainly the Sea of Cortez can get rough, but
Donnie asked, what's the weirdest thing you ever found in a fish that you caught? I don't know. Probably parasites can get pretty ugly in fish.
Yeah.
Linda's grandfather lost a pair of glasses fishing on a pier. I think it was the Ocean Beach Pier one year, and the next year he caught his glasses.
Yeah.
What was that?
His son caught him.
Oh, his son. That's right.
Son caught him.
Son caught his dad's glasses a year later.
It's amazing that they would stay there through the tides.
Exactly. I don't get it. I don't get it.
So me and Sandy were fishing Eagle Lake one time, and I put my rod on the back of the boat, turn around and look, the rod goes flying into the water. It's gone. And I'm like, oh my God, 30 minutes later, we go up, we're fishing Pelican Point, and we do the drift again. And she hooks up, but it's fighting really funny. And she's fighting it and fighting it and fighting it. And all of a sudden, the tip of a rod comes out of the water, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I grab it. It's my rod that I lost a half hour ago. That went on.
And it has a fish on it.
And it had a fish on it. Because that fish was doing circles, the rod was on the bottom. She caught the line.
Yeah.
And brought up the rod. I mean,
not so unusual.
That's a true story. I was so happy I got my rod back, and it had a fish on it. I couldn't believe it.
Have you ever lost your stringer?
Oh yeah, me and Donnie Farrell at Silverwood Lake. I gunned the motor, and we lost 10 really, really nice bass we had caught. We went back and got 10 more.
My friend Steve shot him and my buddy Brian Castleton went. They went like 60 miles, almost all the way to Ensenada, because Brian had heard that there was a white sea bass going on. bass bite going on, and they each caught like 2. That was the limit, you know.
Yeah.
And then Steve had a nice halibut, and Brian had a yellowtail, and they had them all on the stringer on the water, right? Because Brian has a small boat. You don't have room for his boat for all these fish. And they came unhooked, and they got home, and they were like, "Did you bring the fish up?" "No, I didn't bring the fish up. Did you?" They were just gone.
That happens. That happens.
Yeah.
Dennis,
Yeah.
I got to give you brownie points. You get extra credit today for wearing that shirt.
Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you.
Which reminds me, the show is brought to you by Green Bicycles.
I could always use brownie points.
Green Bicycles makes your plants pedal faster.
So I did mention, I thought you would have put that up, that I've certainly fallen in love for a night a bunch of times in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm awful.
I won't even tell this story.
High.
Let me grab the link and let's see who else would like to pop on here before we
Yeah.
Talk about love.
We
No
got
one wants to hear us talk our fishing stories. One day we'll have to have a fishing show, Kurt.
I think Joe could come up with some really good Cocksmith stories.
So, yeah.
I don't even know if I want to hear some of them. You're not going
I'm just
anywhere.
Make it short and sweet today. I just wanted.
Wait! I got a question for you.
Okay. All right.
So how is shad fishing? Tell us about shad fishing.
Well, okay. So we went out like I think it was Saturday. That's when Danielle caught her first one. All on her own. I let her, gave her my rod because it's got, it's a little better rod than what she had. She was stoked. Her boyfriend Matt didn't catch anything. He was bummed.
That's always good.
The other day we all went out. Randy was with us. Randy's a lot of fun to fish with. Good shad fisherman. Most of us caught fish. I mean, it's not crazy, but there were some big ones coming in. Matt caught like 5. I gave him some pointers, and then he caught more than anybody. He was so stoked.
Matt who?
That's Danielle's boyfriend.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were talking about Matt Barnes. I'm like, really?
It's a lot of fun when Kenny was out there. So, it's a lot of fun when 4 or 5 of us out there, and we haven't seen each other in a long time.
That's a good time. So
yeah.
Shad isn't table fare, is it? Or do people eat it? Or what is shad like?
It's actually a nice white fish, but it's really, really bony. And we just let them go. We catch them and let them go. They fight really good. They're really fun to catch.
And I heard it can get real hot and fast and furious, I guess is what I want to say. That you can not unusual to catch 20, 30 a day.
I don't think it's really hard to get into that kind of a bite these days because it's not like it used to be where they probably used to come up, 5 times, 10 times what they do now.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. It's still fun to do.
Yeah.
It's just a good way to get out and, when the wind blows like it has the last couple of days, it's hard to go do it. I can't. I'm not a good fat shad fisherman in the wind. So. Yeah,
the wind screws everything up. It's worse than rain, I swear. I hate the wind.
A lot of guys fly fish for shad. Fly fishing can be really, really good for shad. The Smith River, I'm sure they fly fish, but it's more of a bait thing that people are doing, a bait drift. And the locals are all, small little bass level lines, 20-pound test, and they're drifting.
And are they using like salted anchovies for bait, or ghost shrimp, or mussel, or what are they? They don't have a live bait industry up there, do they?
Mostly roe is what the steelhead are eating because they come up the river to eat the salmon roe. That's what
salmon. Okay.
Yeah,
the
salmon come up and the steelhead follow them.
Can you go to a bait and tackle shop and buy frozen roe, or is that something that you have to acquire somehow?
It's called cured roe. You cure it with borax and different things. And
is fresh roe better than cured roe to fish with?
I believe so, but it doesn't stay on the hook so well. There's a lot to just the roe. Acquiring that,
presenting that,
right? The roe out of salmon, curing it to the way you like it. That's a whole art in its own self. So there's a lot. One
more question.
All fishing, there's a lot to it. You can.
Exactly.
Simple,
just because you fish doesn't mean you know how to fish everything.
It's always better if it can be more simple than complicated. That's the thing about fly fishing with me. Fly fishing is quite complicated.
There's a lot to learn.
the different weights of the rods, different weights of the line.
Right.
Just a lot
Right.
to it. You know Jim Maloney, your buddy you fish with, he's the best
Yeah.
fly fisherman I know.
Yeah.
That guy,
And
he would just circles around me fly fishing.
and
That's all he
he's
does.
lost. He's lost on a sport
He's
fishing.
lost. He's lost.
He's
trying to
lost.
bait fish. Yeah, because all he does is fly fish up here. So
Yeah.
it's what
Just
you
like
get
I'd be
into.
lost with him fly fishing, he's lost with me on a
Fly
boat.
fishers, guys are the purists. They're the ones that, and I got to give it to them because you really got to get into it, and you know.
Yeah,
most
they're
people don't
dedicated,
wanna
no
make that
doubt.
kind of commitment,
Yeah.
you know. So
Dedicated.
all right, love you.
All right. Talk to you later,
Love you.
John. Hey, did you get my shirt?
See you guys. No, not yet.
What
Okay,
shirt?
bye.
What shirt?
It'll come.
Bye-bye. I'll talk to Pat about that.
What
You know,
shirt?
It's just a fisherman's landing shirt, something that you probably wouldn't wear.
No, I wouldn't. I'd want a CS shirt. You got any of those?
It's funny is I found a couple. I was looking around. I was in the bathroom the other day looking around for, I think, a Band-Aid or something. I'm like, oh, a stack of shirts here. Oh, they're double X. Perfect. If you wear a double X, I can send you one. That's all I have left.
Yeah,
They're not.
they're brand new ones.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah.
It might be safety yellow or safety orange or something like that.
That's okay. I'll take one.
All right, I'll get you one.
You got one of mine, don't you?
I have 3 or 4 of yours.
There you go. I'm gonna get some more soon.
You know what I don't like about yours?
Oh shit.
I like a pocketed tee, especially for work, because you put your pencils in there, and put your gum in there. I like a
Keep
pocket.
that in mind. Maybe my next round will be pocketed.
Yeah.
I can handle that. What's going on, Jennifer?
Well, I was just wanted to chime in and say, when you're talking about things to do for shows, Sunday's Mother's Day. Let's do a kind of Mother's Day show.
It's a good idea, and I don't know if I'll be able to get something in the mail that'll get there by now. Oh,
You know what? Are you going to do that show at 4:00 on Sunday? Because look, Linda and I are going to go to my mom's for Mother's Day, of course. Generally we don't stay till 4:00, but I think maybe I will, and I'll see if I could just get my mom on to say hi to everybody.
you want me to do it at 3?
I think that would be wonderful.
No, four is good. We'll just make it a point to stay to 4. No big deal. No big deal. I'll see if I can get her
I
on.
want to see Donnie's kids come on and talk about how wonderful mother she is.
Okay, well, that's a good idea, Jennifer. We'll
No, I think we should.
we'll
Yeah.
I'll get
I like
Joanna to come on. Yeah, I'll get Joanna to come on and get the kids on about talking about their mothers, and I think it'd be
How about this? We get the mother on and the kid on, and then they talk about their mom when they're both on the screen.
Yeah, the only problem with 4:00 Mother's Day, people might be trying to put dinner on. That's the problem with the 4:00 Mother's Day show. So maybe we could do it like 2 in the afternoon.
What if I do a 3 to 5?
Kurt, would that be better for you to do it like 2?
Yeah, two works for me. Yeah, I know we'll be there at 2 because I think we're going to take up lunch, so we'll be there at 2.
We'll advertise a show for 2:00 on Sunday, Mother's Day, and it's going to be about gratitude toward your mom. Or we won't try to get any mom issues. We'll keep those. We'll keep those hidden deep. We'll just talk about gratitude. How about that?
I don't have mom
I
issues.
think that's a wonderful idea. Mothers, we all have them.
We all have them. Yeah, and you get to talk about your mom. So I'll have to think of a little
I will.
because I missed out on getting my mom something in time for Mother's Day. Oh, shoot.
Hey, you can always send flowers.
You know what? My mom
I was just going to say that, Kurt.
my mom's biggest gripe about
But
me
she's
is
probably watching now, so she knows what she's going to get.
I never get to see you. My mom always used to tell me. And now she's like, I can only take you for about an hour a day. That's about as long as I can. That's all I want.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm out of here. You
Great
guys sign off.
Great
Go
idea.
stir the soup. What are you
Well-
making?
Me,
Yeah,
chili
Jen, what are
verde
you making?
burritos and guacamole tostado.
Sounds delicious.
All homemade, of course.
Sounds delicious.
Sounds
It'll
good.
be good. And then
Is
Mother's
Chili
Day,
Verde-
I'm doing lamb chops.
Is Chili Verde pork or is it beef?
Yes, it's pork.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's really good. Okay,
Yeah, I love
you
it.
guys, talk to you soon.
Oh, good. Challenge not accepted.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't I saw that, Danny Wells. That's a good one.
You were going to write a story for us, weren't you, Kurt?
Yeah, you challenged me to write a journal, and I almost did it, but I didn't. Got close, but I didn't.
Did you actually think about it?
No.
I didn't think so. I would have been so excited. You did?
No.
No. Write a poem. I don't know. I'm not too poetic, but maybe, I don't know. I could try. What rhymes with Saudi Arabia? I don't know. I'll figure that one out.
Something labia.
No.
Not going there, huh, Pat?
No, we don't want to go. You know, we've been doing pretty good. I think we've been cussing a little bit too much for the taste, but I think we've definitely toned it down over the last few weeks, and it starts to slip again once in a while. But hey, we've gone about an hour.
Good.
We got about an hour, so I'm going to drop the link again. You got anything else you want to talk about, Kurt? Anything else you want to get off your chest?
No, I was just waiting for Danny Wells or Damien or somebody or Joe or anybody, Donnie, come up here and they could take my place.
Well, you don't have to.
So I'm just filling in here.
We've got about 3 minutes, so that's easy to do. I could almost do 3 minutes. I can almost do that.
You got sunshine up there in Crescent City today?
It was hot today. I don't know if that was 75 or 80, but it was hot.
Yeah.
The one
It
around
was hotter yesterday down here, but it's a beautiful. People say it's hot, but I love it. I love wearing short pants and sandals, and you know what I mean. I hate overdressing. I can't stand to wear a long sleeve shirt. It just bugs the hell out of me.
No, today I'm going to paint an ugly picture, but I was in my backyard and I don't look good. Trust me, I don't look good. I was just in my underwears. That's it today, doing yard work.
I'd imagine those aren't jockey brown underwears or bikini underwear. They're probably they look like short boxers.
They kind of look like not boxers, but they kind of look like shorts. But
I'd imagine you're pretty pasty white. I don't know, but I'd imagine you are.
I'm bright white. It's like bright white.
Doughboy white.
Doughboy white, and but I'm surrounded by trees, so
yeah,
I wouldn't do that to my neighbors.
Right.
Too much information.
Know.
Thank you, Danny Wells. I know that's why I did it, to ruin your afternoon.
You got that image, Danny Wells? You got that image in your head?
Casper the ghost that's gotten really heavy.
Oh.
Well, shoot, we've done about made it. I dropped the link. I don't think I see Dawn and Dave and Dan. What was that show? Remember a little kid? She waved a wand and said, "I see Susie out there. It's her birthday."
Oh yeah. What was that show? I remember that. I do.
Yeah, it's like I always said, "Can she see me?" I hope not.
Look at this. Yeah, what was that show? Somebody knows it. Yeah.
I think we
If you
mentioned
gave me multiple choice, I would get it, but I just can't.
Romper Room. Was it Romper Room? Might have been.
Was it? Yeah, it might have been. It might have been Romper Room.
It was a lady. I wonder what was her name.
I wasn't a Romper Room fan. I think I was a little too old for Romper Room. I don't know when it came on, but I was not I was a captain. What was the captain of Mr. Green Jeans? Captain.
Captain Kangaroo, smoking cigarettes.
Captain Kangaroo. Right.
There's a good song about it.
Yeah, that is a good song. It was used in Pulp Fiction.
Miss Mary.
Have you seen Pulp Fiction, Pat?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Feet massage. The foot massage.
Are you? Do you watch Netflix series?
I do.
Have you watched Rectify?
I don't think
Rectify.
I don't think so.
We just finished and it was pretty good. It's about a guy. I'll just tell you what it's about real quick. It's about a guy that, like, when he was 18 years old, he was accused of raping and killing a girl, and he spent almost 20 years on death row, in a cell on death row, and he gets out. I won't even tell you how he gets out or anything, and just everything he goes through about how conditioned he was for 20 years in that cell. And the character is very compelling. You know, he's very believable. You just get into it. It's worth a watch. It's not it's not funny. You know what I mean?
It doesn't sound very uplifting.
It's not, but it's kind of interesting. You know, it kind of grabs you like a soap opera grabs you sometimes.
Rectify.
I don't know if you ever
I'll
Rectify.
Check. I will check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, ladies and germs, we've done an hour. I'm good.
All right,
Are you good with an hour? I'm good with an hour.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna go eat some lasagna.
I'm gonna let my mom off the hook and let her.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Right,
You don't have to watch me another hour.
talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you later. Hey, Donnie. Oh, look at that. That just hit you. Hit you like a hot flash. Well, thank you for coming in today. I think we had a little bit more than average viewers. I saw Ray pop in and Di. I haven't seen her in before. Dave is here, regular. I like to see Dave and Donnie and Terry. Good to see Terry. Thank you, everybody. I'm just going to wrap this bad boy up and say goodnight. And hope you all have a good evening. Sleep well tonight. And tomorrow is Friday. Uh-oh. I don't know. Are we ready for the Friday night adult hour? Uh-oh. I don't know yet. Anyways, take care. We'll do a Mother's Day special on Sunday. So we'll think of some good ideas and share them with us. And peace, love, prosperity,